We've crossed 2100 and are well on our way to 2200 in the Grandmaster Chess speedrun. This time let's open up with a pawn to e4. Playing in the center, normal stuff. He goes for a French defense. And against the French, one opening that I actually really like, and one of the reasons that I like it so much, is that it's actually applicable against Sicilians as well, and you can even try it against e4 stuff. And the opening that I'm talking about is the King's Indian attack setup. We go knight d2 here because if they capture, we want to capture with the pawn. And this is already a bad decision from black because, yeah, they've now moved this pawn twice, so they're going to be behind in their development. I'm just going to continue with my knight out. This is a very non-standard way that they have played the King's Indian attack, by the way. Very unlikely you'll get these kind of positions, but it's also important to know how to deal with them if they do occur. So I'm getting my bishop out quickly, making a threat on the pawn. So every developing move I'm making, I'm trying to make a threat. Okay, I'm extremely confused by this move. It seems like my opponent has just totally ignored my threat over here. I genuinely have no idea what they're doing. Maybe the plan is queen g5, but queen g5 just does not feel like it's it. I mean, queen g5, I take on c6, you take on g2, I play rook f1. Like, what are you doing? I honestly don't know. I'm going to capture here. I think my opponent's just straight up bluffing with me. Okay, he decides to just sack. I still do not... Oh, queen d4. Ooh. Queen d4, yeah. Oops. What if I go king f1? What if I go king f1? Then you have no queen d4, and your bishop is hanging, and your knight is hanging. How about that? It's an interesting way, an interesting move. Queen f6, I have knight d to f3. And then what are you doing? Maybe a safer way to play this would have just been to castle. Nice and simple. But we are jumping out into the fire, which is just how I like it. And I think this knight move to f3 makes by far the most sense here. I would imagine they have to drop the bishop back, in which case I will play bishop g5, and as far as I can see, you are toast. You are toast, my friend. This looks terrible, because queen e6, I can for once just capture, and I can play this knight here, for example, or I can play this knight here right away. And this does not look like a good time. And actually, sorry, if queen e6, I have mate in 1! Holy cow, what a finish! I just saw that right now. I'm like, what? Okay, let's analyze that game. What on earth? 11 move, knockout victory, King's Indian attack. Very suspicious position. That's why tactics is so important, guys. Even pins, just checkmate in ones. These basic tactics still winning games at the 2100 ELO level. Absolutely crazy. Let's take a look at that one. So I'll be totally honest with you guys. I had no idea we were playing a good game there at the point when they played bishop takes on f2. I was getting a bit nervous. I was a bit concerned, but we played that at a 98.8. L Stockfish has entered the game. I mean, this is just... I don't know, King's Indian attack, very venomous. This just goes to show, by the way, development advantage is quite important here. Even if I didn't see all the tactics necessarily, the development advantage meant that it worked in my favor, because after this e5, you can see we have the 2 pieces out while they have the no pieces out, right? And when they bring out their knight, I bring out the bishop, they bring out their bishop, and we decide to pounce on the pawn. They go for this really cool move, bishop takes on f2, which is the only move that actually keeps them in the game. But king f1 is accurate. King f1, you don't always just have to blindly accept material if you can spot your opponent's idea. And black would have gotten a good position here. After this capture here, something like takes. And Engine's just saying play knight f3, give the pawn, and no, play king f2 actually. Okay, the engine is definitely on another level. But happy to find king f1, you don't always have to accept. And you'll notice that after king f1, all the problems in my opponent's position remain. They've still got 2 hanging pieces. So they have to play bishop to b6 according to Engine, which is crazy. They just give up a rook, of course. They just sacrifice the rook in the corner and then play this position, which is somehow close to equal after b3 and a bishop fianchetto, just ignoring everything. So yeah, pretty weird stuff from the Engine. But instead they go queen f6, and this loses the game to our nice defensive and attacking move, knight f3, simply activating more of our pieces. They drop the bishop back. Now bishop g5, striking here. I'll be totally honest with you guys. When I played this bishop g5 move, I did not immediately register that this was actually a checkmate threat. But it's such a natural move, getting the bishop out with a tempo to attack the queen, trying to remove defenders from the knight. And if you play these intuitive, natural, developing moves, good principles will bring you good tactics, right? So after queen e6, after they move the queen here, I just see the move, pattern recognition after a little bit. I'm like, hold on, looks exactly like the Morphe Opera House game. I can put it up on the screen right now for you guys, but I recognize this tactic where I was like, oh my goodness, look, the bishop is slicing the king like this, and we just need to drive down either a queen or a rook to this square to deliver a checkmate. Then I'm like, what pieces are defending that square? The knight, but actually the knight isn't defending because it is pinned to the king. So you don't even have to go for the in-between move of eliminating the knight. You can actually just deliver the checkmate in one. So congrats if any of you guys followed along with the game. If you found this checkmating idea, then very nicely done. That's how we get quick wins, even at the 2100 ELO level, just getting your pieces out, getting fast development, and getting that checkmate. So if you are interested in some one-to-one coaching, then do check the description. I've got a couple spaces left, so drop me an email, and I might be able to take you on as one of my students. And I would normally say thanks for watching this far, but to be honest, this is like a 5-minute video, so honestly, if you didn't watch this far, I would be a bit concerned about your attention span. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.